So
Awesome.
my favorite question, and it's one that is highly searched in like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and that question is, tell me about the day in the life of a property or liability adjuster.
Okay. So typically for me, a day in my life would be coming into the office and well, my virtual office because I work remotely.
Okay.
And then checking my diary system. That is pretty much the first thing that I do when I log into work. I check my diary system to see if there are any reminders or anything that I need to work on first thing in the morning. And when I say diary system, it's basically a calendar
Mhm.
that every adjuster has to keep them on track with their claims because you could be working up to 100 claims at sometimes and that can get very daunting and confusing and you may not know what needs to be done to push that claim to the next step. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I like to set my diary system up every time I touch that claim, I like to put a reminder on on that file to let me know what I need to do next. And so at the end of every day, I kind of check to see what my diaries are going to be for the next day. And when I come in to the office, I like to tackle that first and foremost. Once I kind of get those tasks out of the way, whether it's paying an invoice or maybe contacting an attorney to, get some additional documentation, once I complete those tasks, then I'll go on to see what I can do to push my other claims forward. So I like to work off of an Excel spreadsheet or even a Google Doc
Okay.
where I will, list all of my claims out. Like right now, I have about 70 to 80 claims and, I like to have those listed out so that I know exactly what needs to be done on those files. And I might have set a reminder for myself the day before to say, okay, well, after you're done, with your diary tasks, you can move on to these things, contacting maybe a public adjuster to see if we can work on a negotiation or making a phone call to an insured to, keep them up to date on what's going on with their claim, keeping that communication open.
Mhm.
Sometimes if I may have a meeting with my manager, I'll, set that reminder as well. So, it's really just coming in and making sure that I'm pushing those claims to the next level and that they're not just sitting there with nothing, happening on them and me, being abreast of everything that I have to do for that day. It can be pretty laid back, but if and I try not to set too many diaries for myself for one day because
Mhm.
you don't want to have so many tasks that you become overwhelmed or that you can't actually accomplish everything that you're setting for yourself. So kind of just keep a good, number of activities to accomplish in that day. And then once you have those things accomplished, you can kind of move on to the next task to see, what can be done to push that claim towards closure. Making phone calls and things like that. And, that's a typical day.
Right.